Welcome to downtown Orangevale. Well, it was supposed to be downtown Orangevale. Today we're going to be talking about the mystery of the missing downtown. In fact, it was supposed to be downtown twice for this community. Didn't happen. So we'll get into the mystery of why that didn't happen, why it's like it is today, and then we'll see where current downtown is for folks that know about Orangevale these days. So follow us along. Now, before we get too far along in our video, I want to make sure we take a shout out for our sponsor, L&M Liquor and Deli. They've been a fantastic supporter of the museum, and we really appreciate them supporting this video as well. So, where are we? Well, we're on the Orangevale Bluffs. Behind me is Greenback Lane, runs up here. Behind us here is Main Avenue. And we have the bluffs, of course, with our beautiful views of Folsom, the Nimbus Crossing Bridge, and the Sierras in the background on a beautiful day. So, obviously this is a good place to put a downtown, and the Orangevale Colonization Company was really hot on making it happen here at this site up on the bluffs. They had plans, they had it in their maps, they had College Avenue plans for a college center, they had a high school site plans, lots of great stuff. In fact, they built the villa. That was going to be the hotel for the downtown Orangevale right here on the site, and before there was any of the roads, anything planned yet. So they used that as their sales center for the 10-acre parcels. But they were also pushing the town sites for this downtown area. Now, a key thing about this was they needed a railroad. In the earliest depictions of the colony, you'll see it in the Record Union, there's this picture of the artist's rendition of what it would look like. And in the back, you could see the town site, and you could see the railroad and the train running up towards Roseville from Orangevale. They really needed that transportation to quickly get the fruit and the products, the produce from the orchardists to the consumers as quickly as possible. So that railway was important. And so all the plans were predicated on that. By 1895, right, 1888 is when the colony started. By 1895, there was talk of a Sacramento, Fair Oaks, Orangevale Railway, an electric one. And so they were finally getting somewhere, but that died off. They didn't get all the right-of-ways. And so by 1905, the Colonization Company had given up. They dissolved the corporation, and the town site became a bit of a memory until a couple of years later. And we'll check that out on our next part of this. So we have the Orangevale Colonization Company dissolved in 1905. The only thing that was on the town site was the villa. That ended up getting sold to a family, the Pierces. They moved it by mule and log over to Greenback Lane. That's another story we'll talk about another time. And then it went quiet, just for a couple of years though, because in 1908, there was rumblings of another railway. We had a rich guy back east. He had lumber that he bought in Georgetown. He had a big piece of property. He wanted to get his lumber down the hill, so he was looking to put in a railway from Georgetown to Sacramento, and with a stop in Orangevale. So all of a sudden, we've got the Orangevale Bluffs in 1909. Mr. Hullings, who was the son-in-law of Mary and William Calder, who you've heard about. And so he started developing this Orangevale Bluffs. They came up with a new town site plan. They started working on the railroad, grading it from starting in Orangevale Bluffs, and then they graded it about $100,000 worth of grading. They started doing the roads for the town site, and it looked like things were coming along great. Even Harry Thorpe was involved. Now, about 1914, we're not sure if they ran out of money or they decided that trucks were better, but they decided to give up on the railway. And so the Orangevale Bluffs died where it stood. And from there, it was quiet for decades and decades. And this was just open, wild land as far as you could see. But that didn't stay that way, and we know that for sure, and we'll check that out next. So the Orangevale Bluffs, we have a great aerial shot from 1928 that shows the road work that they'd already done and the rail line that had already been prepared. And we'll show that to you as part of this video. But it's pretty cool to see where they line up and how they planned out this community, but ended up stopping. So what happened after all that? Why do we have houses here now? Well, by 1960, we have Madison Avenue finally coming through. Madison Avenue was just over by Greenback Lane, or by 80, and it didn't come all the way through. And so they decided, along with Greenback, they wanted another main route across town. So they started putting in Madison, and they cut that through Fair Oaks and Orangevale, and then it came up and met Greenback just behind us over here before it goes over towards Folsom. And so as that was starting to be built, of course, developers said, hey, this is some pretty good property. I think we can put some houses here. So by 1960, we already have houses popping into this area, and they actually ended up using the old railroad cut, the leveling for Madison Avenue. If you look at those maps, it's pretty crazy to look at. But yeah, we have the Palisades School over here. We've got just the subdivisions. That's what ended up taking over this area between Main behind me, Greenback here over on this other side, and of course the Bluffs over here. And the Bluffs themselves got taken by the state parks. So that's part of Lake Natoma. You got the Nimbus Dam and up to Folsom Dam. So that bluff area is public available. You can go hiking on that, get some nice views. Definitely make sure you enjoy that. But yeah, so this didn't end up being downtown. So what ended up being downtown for Orangevale? Well, that'll be our next stop as we wrap up our video for today. So let's go take a look at where we're going. Well, here we are, downtown Orangevale. I think some of you have seen the lollipop, we call it locally, fondly or not so fondly. But one of the supervisors a while back, he had some extra cash, wanted to put something in Orangevale, and we ended up with, yeah, a moniker saying that Greenback Lane, here Greenback and Chestnut, is downtown Orangevale. But it's kind of noisy here, so let me wrap it up a little bit away from all the traffic. One thing I forgot to really shine on, which was neat in my research, was in 1894, there was discussion of that high school site in downtown Orangevale that was going to be used perhaps before even San Juan High School existed. It was going to be used between Folsom and Orangevale. That would have been neat to have not only a high school, but a college campus right up there on the bluffs. But c'est la vie, it didn't happen. And here we are today. We've got Greenback Lane with all our businesses because that was the main route. So that's where businesses are going to conglomerate. And it is our community. We love it. There's some strange things going on with the way it's laid out. It's not like Fair Oaks or one of the other communities where we have a center, a heart. But we like to think we have a heart in this community, and we really love it. So with that, I'm going to sign off. It's Mark Ehring with On the Trail in Orangevale. If you like this video, a like and subscribe is great. What's even better, if you want to really support us, the mission of this organization, and keeping these episodes coming out, is to click down below, join us, become a member, and support the organization. We're all volunteer. We're doing this because we love history, we love the community. You don't actually have to live in Orangevale to be part of this, right? All this history interweaves. So check it out, join us. We'd love to see you support what we're doing here.